Okay, let's talk about something we all deal with. We're just drowning in health advice online, right? It feels almost impossible to know who to trust. So today, we're going to build a toolkit to help you and me cut through all that noise.
You know the feeling. You're scrolling, and one post says one thing, and the very next post says the complete opposite. It is so confusing. One second, you get a post that's basically designed to make you panic, something that looks a little like this. You see that? It's a claim designed to hit you right in the gut, to trigger an emotional, protective response. But then, just a scroll later, you see something else, something that sounds incredibly official and really persuasive.
Wow, a hard number, a statistic. That feels so concrete, so scientific. And then, layered on top of all of that, you've got these big, sweeping beliefs that pit completely different ideas against each other.
And just like that, you're caught. You're stuck between these urgent warnings, these science-y sounding pitches, and these really deeply held philosophies. It's a lot to navigate.
So, here's our plan for this explainer. We are not going to tell you what to believe. Nope. Instead, we are going to build a toolkit together. We're going to deconstruct two very real, very different examples of health communication to figure out how to see past the noise and evaluate this stuff for ourselves.
All right, first up, let's look at a very direct and very public debate. We're digging into a piece from a scientist, Jennifer Raff, called Dear Parents, You Are Being Lied To. And let me tell you, this is a masterclass in direct, claim-by-claim takedowns.
So, look at this first tactic. It is pure force. The author takes this common piece of misinformation and counters it not with some long, drawn-out explanation, but with a blunt, two-word correction. It's designed to be memorable, to project absolute confidence, and to leave zero room for debate. Okay, next up, she backs her claims with some serious data. To push back on the idea that vaccines aren't effective, she doesn't just say, "nuh-uh." She uses this huge, impactful number from a global health perspective. And that technique? It instantly reframes the entire issue, moving it from a personal choice to a massive public health victory.
Now for one of the most heated claims of all. Here, the author's counter isn't a single statistic. Instead, it's an appeal to the sheer weight of scientific consensus. She points to numerous studies and overwhelming evidence, which is her way of signaling that her position isn't just one opinion. It's backed by a huge body of research.
Now this is a really interesting technique. It's all about using comparison to give context. The fear of aluminum isn't handled by denying it's there. Instead, she compares the dose to a familiar, totally natural source. It's a really powerful way to reframe a scary-sounding ingredient and make the risk feel much more manageable. And she wraps up her analysis of the opposition's tactics with this observation. This is such a crucial point about communication strategy. When the evidence is weak, the focus often shifts to trying to discredit the person who's presenting it. That right there, that's a huge red flag to watch out for. So we've seen how science is used in a public fight, but what about when it's being used to sell you something? Let's take a look at a product pitch. Now the context here is supplements for horses, but what's so important is that the persuasive techniques, they are universal. Doesn't matter if it's for animals or for us. So the pitch usually kicks off with a hook, a big, impressive number, just like this one, 98% absorption. I mean, that immediately implies it's way more effective, a much better value than other things like powders or pills, which they say only have like 3 to 30% absorption. It's simple, it's memorable, and it's very, very persuasive. All right, next, the pitch starts building authority by using these complex, scientific-sounding terms. So here, they're defining beta-glucan. Now, they could just say it's a special kind of fiber you find in plants and fungi. But by teaching you the technical vocabulary, the company positions itself as a credible expert, and that makes you trust their product more. And this slide right here, this illustrates the core formula of a science pitch perfectly. First, you have the ingredient. Second, the simple benefit, like reduces stress. And third, the super complex mechanism, like GABA mimetic activities, which is really just a fancy way of saying it helps calm the brain's wiring. This three-part structure, complete with citations, makes the claims feel scientifically proven, even though, and this is so important, the studies they're citing are often just on the individual ingredients, not the actual finished product that you're buying. So, we've looked at two totally different approaches, right? The direct public debate and the science-driven product pitch. And by looking at how they both work, we can now build a simple but really powerful toolkit for analyzing any health claim we come across. And it really just comes down to 3 steps. First, consider the source. Who's talking?
Is it a scientist with expertise in that area, or is it a company with something to sell? Second, scrutinize the evidence. What proof are they actually offering? Is it one dramatic number, or is it based on a broad scientific consensus? And third, always question the motive. Is their goal to protect public health, or is it to make a sale? This isn't about being cynical, it's just about being a critical thinker.
So when we put all this together, it leaves us with one final really empowering idea. It's a shift in how you think that can honestly change how you interact with all information online.
Because when you start by asking, why are you telling me this, you automatically start using that toolkit we just built. You start thinking about the source, their evidence, and their motive. It moves you from just being a passive person getting information thrown at you to being an active critical thinker. And in the world we live in today, that is probably the most important health skill you can possibly have.